All right, what's up guys? I'm going through my gear. It's end of July. Elk season's right around the corner. We got like 45 days or so before it starts here in Washington. Jake and I are gonna head out for a couple days here, and then we're gonna come home, resituate, and we're headed to Idaho again this year, over-the-counter DIY archery elk hunt, and then coming back home for a couple weeks, and then heading back to Idaho for a rifle mule deer hunt. So this is my definitely my gear list for elk. A few things will change for deer, layering, and I think I might go with a little bit bigger pack, bigger tent, hot tent and all that stuff. But anyway, let's get into it real quick. So if you're out there looking for some ideas or some stuff, hopefully I can help you here with a few things that I've learned along the way. This is I think our third or fourth year hunting pretty much out of our backpacks, quote unquote bivvy style. So I'm gonna kind of go left to right, starting with the pack. This is the XO Mountain Gear on the K3 frame. I run the K3 frame in the longest setting possible. I'm 6'2", so I like being able to run it. I think it's 26.5 inches fully extended, but you can pick, they have multiple sizes, so hop on their website and check that out. And then this is the 4800 pack with a lid. I also run a few stash pockets, which I'll get into later. But there's lots of videos out there on this exact pack, so I'm not going to get too much into that. But this is what I've been using for the last couple of years, and I really like it, especially for 4 or 5 day trips. You can easily squeeze that into this pack. You can even go longer. I've made it 8 days with this pack. So anyway, enough with the pack. Get that out of the way. So second on the list is my sleep system. I've got some new pieces here this year that I tried out in the spring on some backcountry hikes with my wife. Love some of this new stuff. So I guess first thing is, this is a butt pad. It's not really a part of my sleep system, but it seemed to fit in there. So this is just the Thermarest. I think it's called the Z seat. Has this nice little cord here to attach and keep it tucked in clean and tight and organized. Unfolds to, I don't know, what is that, probably 18 by 12. I've had this for 3 or 4 years, and it works good for sitting down, keeping your butt dry, nice to glass on, anything like that. Really nice to use, extremely light. This here is a Seek Outside ground cloth. I think it's like 96 inches long, and it's about 30 inches wide or so. I think it's like $12 on Seek Outside's website. I always lay this down underneath of my sleeping pad just to try to help it so I don't pop it on anything sharp. So for $12 and for how light it is, I would recommend a ground cloth, and it's not loud. You can hear it's not like a Tyvek stuff you get from Home Depot or whatever. So anyway, Seek Outside ground cloth. Then this year I've switched to the Thermarest NeoAir X Lite pad. I think this is the extra large or long, whatever they call it, because again I'm kind of tall, so I need a little bit longer pad, or prefer a little bit longer pad. I did use this this spring. My wife and I hiked into an area and slept on like 4 feet of snow. So I had this ground cloth, obviously down, this NeoAir X Lite pad, and then I recently bought the Stone Glacier Chill Coot 32-degree quilt that I also took on that trip. It was probably in the low 40s. We slept in a drainage, so the cold air was definitely down into our sleeping area all night. Could see our breath, and I slept in a Brooksdown puffy coat and just my Piranha pants, and I was perfectly fine. I did not get cold. So I think, don't quote me on this, but I think this pad with the ground cloth and this Stone Glacier Chill Coot quilt is like right around 3 pounds, so extremely light, and it packs down super tight in your pack, which is awesome. So last year I was running the Big Agnes Q-Core SLX pad and the Big Agnes Anvil Horn 15-degree bag, which I will use again this year on a late season hunt for mule deer when it's a lot colder. So for elk early season, this is extremely light and more than enough to keep you warm, in my opinion. So that's kind of my sleeping system. And then Jake and I have been running this Seek Outside Cimarron. This is the tent and the stakes, and then Jake will carry the center pole, and sometimes we'll bring the stove sometimes we won't. Just kind of depends on the weather forecast, but we always split it. So I'll usually take the tent, he'll take the other half. You get the point. So anyway, there's a sleeping system and tent. Let's move on to, I guess, water. So for me, this is it. This is my filter and my dirty bag. 3 liter, what is this, Hydro Pack. I've had this for a couple years. I love this. The best part is this Kitadine filter. It literally just screws right in and you just squeeze water right through it. You can drink out of it. So dirty bag, filter, threads right in. Pop the top. You can drink right out of it if you like, or dump it right into your bottle. Personally, my favorite. Drank out of an elk wallow with this last year. Have that on video for proof. Didn't get sick. It was the only water source around. Every drainage was dry. Every side drainage, I should say. So extremely light, no pump, no steri pen or whatever the hell those things are called, no drops, no waiting 30 minutes, none of that crap. This works great for me personally. Extremely lightweight, and obviously it packs down to nothing. So I usually put this in like my outside stretchy pocket on my pack, so it's really easy to get to. And if I want, I can fill this up and throw it in my pack. And I have 3 liters in here. I got a 48 ounce Nalgene Go Hunt, and then your standard size Nalgene that I'll carry in my on my hip belt in my pack. Sorry about that. So that's all I run for my water. I love that. This will go in my pack, and then obviously on my hip belt, so I've got access to water. I like running a Nalgene because I can mix things like Wilderness Athlete, Hydrate and Recover. I love drinking that stuff in my water. A little bit of flavor is always nice, especially when you've been in the woods for 5 or 6 days and you've just been drinking plain old water. It can it's nice to have a little flavor. So between those Wilderness Athlete, Hydrate and Recover, and then I always drink the Energy and Focus. I love those. They seem to work really well for me. There's no crash. Anyway, just how I do it, what I like. So that's my water situation. And I'll probably honestly never change that unless I get sick. One other little thing here is, I think I got this off, I forget what website, but I like this lid for my Nalgene. It's got the smaller drinking spout. I personally just prefer that. This has worked great for me. It doesn't leak, and it comes with a gasket, so that's pretty cool. So anyway, that's my water setup. Kitadine filter, 3 liter Hydro Pack for a dirty bag, and then a little bit of 550 cord if you want to hang it from a limb, for the morning to make coffee or whatever. Personal preference there. Okay, moving on from the water situation would be my cooking kit. Used to have a jet boil, still do, but I don't really use it anymore. I have, for the last, this will be my 3rd year with this setup here. I think I got this idea from Trail Kiteser with Go Hunt. Been picking his brain, and guys like Dave Barnett, and some of the guys have been doing this a lot longer than me. So anyway, this is the Seek Outside titanium cup. It's a great design. Obviously you can see it's got this spot to hang your cup from a stick. If you run out of fuel, you can still start a fire and boil water this way. And then it has the handles, which are nice to drink coffee out of, or whatever you got mixed in here. So I always bring this cup with me. And then I bring a second titanium. This is a Snow Peak 600 milliliter. Extremely light. It's kind of spendy, I'm not going to lie. I got this from REI, but I like to have two cups at least. I can boil water in here, dump it in, make a cup of coffee, and I can drink my coffee, dark timber coffee by the way. And then I can keep boiling water with this to make dinner or breakfast, whatever time of the day it is. I like to have 2 cups to work with. And then this is just your standard Sea to Summit long, I think it's like 9-inch sport. Typical there, and then fuel of course, but the main thing to my cooking kit is this is the Soto Windmaster, and this thing is freaking bomb proof, man. For one, it's extremely light, which is awesome. It's really small, fits inside the cup, and I've had trouble with my jet boil. The igniter doesn't seem to want to work half the time. I have never had a problem with this igniter. It's bomb proof. This is a awesome system. This is the Soto Windmaster. I think it's like 60 bucks. You can find all this stuff on the Go Hunt Gear Shop. So anyway, if you're in the market for a new cooking system, I would highly recommend this. But there's lots of other stuff out there that I'm sure is great. So anyway, moving on, trying to keep this short and sweet for you guys. I know there's lots of these out there. I will leave a link in the description below to all of this stuff, at least the majority of it. And then of course you can leave a comment. I'll do my best to answer everybody's questions, either on YouTube or on Instagram. So, okay, moving on from the cooking system, let's go with boots. These are the Laponias from Crispy. I've had these for 3 years. This will be my 4th season. I love these boots. They're extremely light. It's like wearing a tennis shoe in the mountains with a little bit of ankle support. And personally, I don't feel the need to run a big, bulky, heavy boot that time of year. I really don't like to wear those kind of boots at all. I mean, I've worn these late season Washington, December, in the snow, raining, blah, blah, blah. I killed a cow last year, late season here in the snow, and I was wearing these and just a pair of gaiters. So I love these boots. I'll probably be buying the new gray ones they just came out with as soon as I can get my size. I don't see them in stock anywhere. So anyway, Crispy Laponias. These are awesome early season boots for sure. Okay, and then socks. These are just the Darn Tough socks. Everybody pretty much runs those Darn Toughs. And then we'll get into my my clothing system. So this is my base layer setup. When we go back for 4, 5, 6, 7 days, we don't bring a lot of extra clothes. I always bring an extra pair of socks just in case my feet get wet. I can rotate socks, or I can rinse a pair in the creek, hang them to dry at like Spike Camp or whatever, or tie them to the back of my pack during the day and let them dry out and put a fresh pair on. Or even in the middle of the day, like if your feet are super sweaty, my feet are always sweaty. I don't know why, they just run like that. Switching socks in the middle of the day can help keep your feet from getting hot spots and blistering. So I would recommend at least bringing 2 pairs of socks. And then I always bring 1 extra pair of underwear just to kind of rotate, you know. If you kill a bull, you got blood dripping down your back, it runs down your butt crack, it's just nice to have a separate pair of underwear. So anyway, moving on from that, I guess we'll start with the pants. These are the Stone Glacier D Haviland, I think is what they call them. These are the lights. Love these pants. They're a little thick for a light, quote unquote, light pant, but I love the zipper all the way down the side to get some airflow in there. So sweet design. No button on the pant at all, which is sweet. They just clip together with this nice integrated belt, kind of like the Piranha design. So there's nothing like digging into your sides or into your stomach when you got a heavy pack on and you're cinching down, packing meat out or whatever. And then there's an adjustable zipper with this Velcro here. So as you lose weight throughout the season, they suck right down, which is nice. So these are the pants I'll be running this year. These, and then I might run the Piranhas again too. I love the stretch Zions. I mean, I think everybody does. And then for a t-shirt, this is the First Light, what is this, the Arrow Wool Ultra Wick. I've had this for a couple years, I have 2 of them. I like these, they dry super fast. So that's the t-shirt I always wear. And then Sitka, this is a ultralight, long sleeve, with a hood. I forget exactly what they call these. Like I said, I'll leave a link to this stuff in the description below, but just the Sitka Subalpine ultralight long sleeve. And then I have the same exact thing again, Sitka, but it's the medium weight. I think it's the micro fleece. I forget what they call these again, but this will be the next layer. I'll usually start with this in the morning and then peel this off and just run this really thin long sleeve throughout the day. But just in case it's cold or whatever, you got a freak storm, this is a nice layer to have. And then I've had this is the First Light Brooks Down sweater. I've had this for 4 years. This is usually what I wear to sleep in. Super cold in the morning, throw this on when I'm drinking coffee and just kind of waking up for the day. Extremely light, packs down to nothing, and it definitely will keep you warm down into some super low temps. So that's it for clothes. I don't bring a lot of stuff. I just try to run as minimal as possible. Lastly, for clothes, this is just a Sitka Storm Vapor Light or something like that. I'm not really good at remembering what these things are all called, but yeah, this is just like a Vapor Light raincoat, so extremely light. And this is what I'll carry in my pack for that freak rainstorm. Packs down to pretty much nothing. I think it'll honestly probably fit in this cup if you cram it in there. I mean, yeah, these things are incredible. Raincoat, I mean, you got to bring it just in case. So that's it for me for clothes. There. All right, I guess we'll go to kill kit. So first and foremost, this is a goat knife, and this is the Capra Hunter. Awesome knife. It's an interchangeable blade knife, which is, I'm a huge fan of that. I don't like carrying a sharpener. I don't want to stop to sharpen a knife. They never seem to get as sharp as you want them to be. This thing gets dull, pop it off, slap a new one on. The other thing about this knife that I really like is it comes with 2 feet of 24 BCY. So if you break a D-loop, you break your drop away rest, you need a piece of cordage for something, there's 2 feet of it on this knife to work with, which can be handy. I haven't had to do that yet, but you never know, and I'd rather have the material to do that while I'm back there, you know. So just eliminates remembering to bring some D-loop material. Anyway, it also has a 1/4 inch drive knockout here in the skeleton part of the knife. So you can bring a couple bits with you that they supply with the knife when you buy one to tighten a rifle scope, tighten a drop away rest, tighten anything that might come loose on your bow, your spotting scope adapter to your binoculars, your spotting scope or tripod or whatever. It's just a really well thought out knife, and I believe it weighs like 1.4 ounces, so it's extremely light. And a 12 pack of interchangeable blades is $12. So again, super light, super cheap. This is my knife. These are the ultralight high country Argali game bags. So these are definitely deboning game bags. So you're gonna need to cut your meat off your quarters to get the meat in these bags, but I like them a lot because they're about that wide, so about the same width as the frame of your pack. So they, you can get a nice tight load when you're loading your bag. And this year Jake and I typically use the MOB game bags, the Argali ones, and carried the bone out, meat on the bone. This year we're gonna go with the deboning method and give that a try. We've kind of been hesitant on doing it because we want to keep our meat as clean as possible, but I picked up a marsupial ground cloth, and I haven't got it in the mail yet, but that'll be kind of what we're going to lay our meat on to debone it, and go from there and see how we like it. So that's kind of a new setup for us this year, is these smaller game bags and the ground cloth deboning method. In this Exo stash pocket, I have, of course, my tags, some 550 cord, a few of my replacement blades for my knife, electrical tape, and then a few pair of mechanic gloves while working on the animal. And probably the most important thing in my pack is Leuco tape. I always put it in my kill kit, but I've used this stuff for just about everything. Taped up my release last year, a Chipmunk 8, and then I shot a bull that morning, so it worked. My brother seems to always cut himself with either a saw or a knife. I've taped up some pretty nasty wounds with this stuff. Blisters on my feet. This stuff is incredible. I will not leave for a hunt without it. You definitely need to get some Leuco tape. You can use it for all sorts of things. So that's always in my kill kit. Sorry if I'm going a little fast here. I'm just trying to make this quick, so you guys don't spend a half hour looking through this stuff. So that kind of ends the kill kit. This is another new addition to my pack this year. This is the Silky handsaw. I'll bring this if we decide to bring our stove for the Cimarron. It's nice to cut some bigger limbs that fit nice and tight in the stove, because if you just break twigs off and stuff it in there, it burns like that. So this makes it really handy to cut stuff just the right length, some bigger stuff for the stove. If we don't bring the stove, I won't bring this. There's no need for it. You can break down an animal without a saw, no problem. So silky pocket saw, and then it's just a pair of lightweight Sitka gloves. Sometimes I wear them, sometimes I don't. Okay, we'll get into trekking poles. I've been running the Leckies in years past, but I lost one, so it's time to get a new pair. So I decided to give these Peak Sissy sticks a try. I think these are called the Z cores. Obviously they're the one set that collapses down. And that's honestly why I picked this set, is because I won't pull these things out probably until we kill an animal. I don't have a need to hike around with these while we're on our way in or way out, or side hilling through a drainage or whatever. They'll be in my pack. So I like how small these get. That's the reason I picked them. I've used them now. This is one full season with them, no problems. They've worked great, so lightweight and super small. I would definitely recommend them if you're in the market for some trekking poles. And then pretty much we're just down to my stash pockets. You can see I just bring the 2 plus my kill kit bag. You're gonna find in my stash pockets, I always bring 2 headlamps. These are the Black Diamond. This is the Revolt. This is rechargeable. I always bring 1 rechargeable. And then this is also a Black Diamond. This is the Storm. This takes AAA batteries. I always have a way to charge something, so I like having kind of both, options, just in case I forget batteries or whatever. Kind of gives me a fail-proof method, if you will. So always 2 headlamps. And then I wouldn't say pro tip, but just something to think about. Take one of your batteries out of your headlamp. That way it doesn't actually accidentally get turned on when it's ruffling around in your backpack. That's happened to me before, and I mean, there's nothing worse than trying to pack an elk out in the middle of the night with no headlamp or the light on your iPhone. I've actually done that. Last year we had this taped. We taped Jake's iPhone to the front of his bike because his headlamp was dead. So take a battery out, or don't put any in at all until you need it, so you don't end up in that situation, because it sucks packing out an elk on day 4 when you're already exhausted, or whatever day it may be, and not having good light is terrible. So anyway, enough of that. Pyro putty, and you can see I got 3 lighters in here. I don't know if it's just because I'm nervous or whatever, but I want to be able to start a fire with no issues. So I always bring a couple extra lighters just in case 1 or 2 of them are giving me trouble. So lighters and then pyro putty is what I use. And then this is a Garmin InReach Mini, must have. It's kind of expensive, 350 bucks. They do go on sale every year. I think I see them go on sale for $250. I want to say it's like right around Christmas time or New Year's, so pay attention. You can pick one of these up for pretty cheap. It's great. I always get the unlimited message packet. I think it's like 70 bucks for the month. Kind of spendy, but it's nice when you're in the mountains to be able to text your buddies and text your wife and your whatever, if you kill an animal, you can tell all your buddies. And anyway, in the free case that somebody gets hurt, obviously you can hit the SOS button and hopefully somebody will come and get you. Thankfully, we haven't had to go down that road yet, so I'm not sure how well that works, but hopefully I never have to find out. So anyway, I always bring this InReach Mini wherever we go. So that's one of my stash pockets. My last pocket, Gold Bond baby powder, the unscented small stuff. I use that. I'd like to dump it in my boots in the morning, or if my feet are sweaty in the middle of the day, I'll put some on my on the insoles of my boots and on my feet to kind of try to keep my feet somewhat dry. That's pretty much all I use that for. And then in this little case, you're going to see, this little Ziploc, you'll see chapstick, like Tylenol, some AAA batteries. I do have some serving material just in case, and that pretty much rounds out this little pack. This is a charger, I forget what brand it is. I use this came with my iPhone, I think, is like one of the options. I bring this, and I also bring this Goal Zero. So this is how I charge my phone, charge my headlamp, charge my InReach Mini if I need to. and then some batteries for my GoPro or a camera. So these are the two things that I run. I'm thinking about buying a solar panel, but I haven't got that far yet. So anyway, the Goal Zero, I don't know what brand this one is, but it works good. And then I have a, and this is my last Ziploc bag full of stuff. So I got the Z-Pack toothbrush, small toothpaste, always brush my teeth, a few toothpicks, and I always bring a whole bunch of extra reeds, just in case, you know, can't have enough reeds. And then I bring a Thermarest repair kit for my pad, so in the case that I pop a hole or have a leak in my sleeping pad, hopefully I can repair it with this, because that would suck to sleep on the ground for 5 or 6 days without a sleeping pad. So anyway, that pretty much wraps up my kit. That's everything I bring. With water, I just had my pack loaded before I did this video. With water, 3 liters of water, and 3 days worth of food. All this gear in my bag, I'm at like 34 pounds. So to me, pretty happy with that. It's much lighter than it was when I first started doing this stuff. So like I said, I'm really happy with that. It doesn't include my camera and my camera batteries or my bow. So I'm probably closer to, you know, 50 pounds or 48 pounds with all that other, with my camera, my batteries, and my bow. But for a base, you know, pack weight to hunt for 3 days in the backcountry, I'm pretty happy with 34 pounds. I'm curious to know like what you guys are running at. So if you're watching this video and you have your gear dialed, let me know what, you know, your pack weight is, what pack you're running for, you know, 3 days with water, with food, because I would love to figure out a way to get lighter if possible, but I still want to be comfortable. So comment below if you got anything you can share with me to help me out. I'll definitely take a look at that. Oh, let's talk about weapon real quick. Slayer bugle tube, and then weapon. So me, I'm shooting a Hoyt. This is the Venom 33, the aluminum bow, tight spot 5-arrow quiver. I got a 30-inch draw. I'm shooting Rip TKOs, 300 spines, 4 Fletch with the Bitzenberger. I'm gonna shoot the Annihilator 125 broadhead this year. FOC like right at 15% with these arrows. And then I got the Black Gold Pro Sight 5-pin. It's a slider. I like having that 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 dialed. And then I got the Hamskea Trinity Pro drop away. I've had this bow this is my 2nd year with it. I love it, super smooth. Honestly, I went into the store to buy a Matthews, but when I shot this bow, in my opinion, it was much smoother on the draw cycle. So I really like this bow. I shot a bull, the bull behind me last year with this bow at 40 yards. That video is on our channel. Clean pass through. I mean, just the bull didn't go very far. So I love that. And then I also shot a cow with this bow last year in Washington late season and killed that cow as well. So this is an awesome bow. Pretty much the same price as a Matthews Bear. And anyway, like I said, don't be a brand guy. Go into the store, go into your local shop. If you're at a good one, they'll set you up, they'll let you shoot all their bows. Shoot the one that you like, you know, shoot the one that feels the best for you. Don't shoot the one that quote unquote is the popular one at the time. So I'm not saying that Hoyt's not popular, obviously it is, but just what I'm saying is shoot all the bows and pick the one that you actually like. So anyway, that's it. If you guys got any questions for me, please leave comments below. I love answering. I love talking to people about this stuff. It's that time of year. We got like 45 days left here. Guys hunting in Oregon, you got like what 35 days left till season starts. You know, some of the guys hunting in Utah, I think it's like August 20th. So stuff's creeping up real quick. It's probably a little late in the year if you haven't already got your gear together to try anything new. But anyway, if you have any questions, definitely don't be too bashful to ask them. Or if you have any tips for me, feel free to share them, because I'm all about, you know, refining my list and getting better and making things work, you know, as efficiently as possible back there. So again, I'll leave a link to all of this stuff, or the majority of this stuff, in the description below. And I also will post or share my discount codes with, I got, you know, a discount code for the goat knives, and then Slayer calls, and then I'm working on one with Go Hunt. Should be getting something from them in the inbox pretty quick. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for tuning in. Really appreciate it.